Hello, everyone. Yes, we are back in the game that started it all. I don't think I'm going to be playing this, but don't worry about it. We'll get into it in just a second. We'll get into what we're talking about and what we're doing here in Warframe in just a moment. Before that, though, I want to do a totally free advertisement for another channel on YouTube here. I have no association with them, nothing like that. I just want to go ahead and let you guys know, in case you don't know, one of my favorite uh, bands of all time is Deftones. And we're bringing them in here. Deftones has a YouTube channel, and they are doing things like they have Stephen Carpenter going through and doing playthroughs of his songs, all that kind of stuff. It's an awesome channel. Deftones was a big part of my life all the way from high school all the way to the present day, which we'll just not talk about how long that's been. But they've been knocking it out of the park with pretty much every album they've ever made. One of my hopes, I know some of you guys have seen my guitars on hanging on my wall. I don't do content on guitars here on the channel uh, or online anywhere. Uh, but one of my hopes is one day that I will be able to get enough money together to pick up either a 7 string built up with Stephen Carpenter's Fishman Fluence pickups, uh, or get a whole guitar, or just the pickups, whatever. I'll install them myself if I have to. But one day I hope to be able to get the same pickups that bear his name. So yeah, if you haven't heard any Deftones and you like some kind of you like metal, you should definitely check it out. Just wanted to plug that real quick because, gosh, it's so good. This one, Acid Hologram, that just came out like 75 minutes ago, also just good. There is something to say about Stephen Carpenter's playing, you know, and Chino singing. Oh, dude. And the drums, that that signature pop of his snare drum. Oh man, it's just Deftones is great. Just pretty much everything about them is great. They've had hard times in the past, with their band and stuff, but I was so happy when they came back and started putting out new albums and stuff. Diamond Eyes was fantastic. It just good stuff. Good stuff. So go subscribe to them. Uh, like their videos, all that kind of stuff. Just check them out. They're good stuff. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here. That only took 3 minutes. Everybody chill. It only took 3 minutes for me to gush over one of my favorite bands of all times. Um, so we're in Warframe. Azure, what are you doing in Warframe? Well, I've been talking about a lot of different games, and one of the biggest for me. I'll be honest with you. World of Warcraft does not even get anywhere close to my top three. It doesn't. But Warframe is. Warframe has been firmly in my top three video games of all time, right up there with the likes of Final Fantasy VII, the original. I've never played the remake, though I will at some point. Uh, this game is fantastic. I will tell you that just straight out the gates. I have over 1,500 hours just on my Steam install of this game. So that doesn't even include the much longer period of time where I just had the game installed on my computer, not via Steam. So the fact that I don't play this game anymore is because I played it enough. I did. I played it a ton, more than anyone should. So first things first, let's go pet the dog. Pet Mephistopheles here. And yes, I named him Mephistopheles. I went and purposely got the stuff to get one of these, infested type dogs, and I named him Mephistopheles, just like I did my original Kubro back in the day when they first came out with them. Um, the whole entire reason that this channel exists is because of this game. None of you from back then, none of you today would know who I am. Because I can guarantee you, if I did not get as deep into this game as I did back then, if this game didn't exist, you wouldn't know me. You wouldn't hear me talking. You wouldn't see me on the channel. You wouldn't know that Azeralas even existed unless you were in those old WoW forums where I was in there trying to figure out what was wrong with our raid. You wouldn't. I made this channel originally as a fan channel for Warframe. Back then, I was running a HD 6870, a Radeon 6870, 1 gig video card. I was recording on Fraps, and I was using Cyberlink Power Director to go ahead and put everything together. I was going in and doing all this stuff, and I had my own original music in the intro and the outro, both of which were lost at the loss of a hard drive a long time ago. Really sad about it. A lot of people liked that intro music, and they liked the outro music. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't exist anymore. I've tried to record new ones, and none of them were as cool. The intro music was made on Fruity Loops. It was this, very Asian pentatonic kind of scale usage, chill Zen kind of thing with thundering kettle drums. That's what this was all about back then. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about this game because I just realized that I don't have I use wallpaper engine on Steam to go ahead and have a light over here because you can just put a white background on your second monitor. I use triple monitors. If you want to see my setup, you can actually see it in Sean VR's Discord in real life stuff. I hang out in there a lot. You got to be chill if you're going to go to that Discord, by the way. It's a LGBTQ friendly community, so just be chill, if you're going to go check out that stuff. I like his content. I've liked Sean VR for a long time. So here's the deal. I'm not LGBT. I'm not. I'm just a regular old straight guy. But they were very kind to me. Their whole community. Just the LGBTQ community in general. I'm sorry I don't know all the acronyms, but I'm just some dude, I don't understand all this stuff. I'm just an old guy, So anyway, why are we back in Warframe? Well, I don't think I'm gonna play it. I don't know. Sometimes I play these things and they just really grip my brain and I get back into it. But like I said, I have played this game a lot. Plenty. I've had fun. Digital Extremes has made money off of me. I don't have any regrets over any of it at all. Because there's been hundreds of times where I went ahead and I went and bought some plat to go ahead and have my fun right now. And there's just as many times, guaranteed, that I went ahead and said, you know what, I got a bunch of stuff I'm doing right now. I'm just going to let this thing cook for 2 days like it needs to. And that's one of the things. Accessibility. Now, that is kind of a token term when it comes to things like World of Warcraft and stuff. It's something that people have a necessity for a knee-jerk reaction when they hear accessibility. They're like accessibility. Oh no, it's turning the game into this, mosh podge of, Fortnite kitty stuff. No, it's not. In this specific instance with Warframe, accessibility is what it's all about. You can pay money to go ahead and not have to wait. You can. It's not a big deal. If you want to go and you want to buy the brand new, a vault pack and get 2 new Warframes and a bunch of cool stuff, you could do that. And it's going to cost you a whole bunch of money. If you want to buy just any old things around here, you can. There's lots of stuff that you can buy for real money. There's lots of stuff that you don't have to buy for real money. You can grind it out if you want to. And over the years, Warframe has had a lot of beef because of the increased amount of grind there is in the game. People say, oh, there's too much grind, there's too much grind. Well, when you come from a game like World of Warcraft or something like that, it's really not that big of a stretch when you're talking about the grind involved with Warframe. It's not. There are people who will sit there and grind and grind and grind and grind the same dungeon over and over and over and over and over again, trying to get the drop that they want, and they won't get it. The thing with Warframe is that you can grind and grind and grind and grind and grind and not get the thing that you want, and then you could go ahead and you could sell some of the cool stuff that you got and buy the thing you needed off of someone else. That's the difference. See, for the longest time, okay, I played this game and I never traded with people. I never traded with people. I never sold things for plat. I never did any of that. Not because I didn't like it or I thought it was bad or anything of that nature. It was because I just didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with other people. It would randomly, I would get groups for things that I wanted to do, and that's all I needed. When I needed a group to do something, there would be a group there, if there was a group there, to play. I didn't want to have to deal with talking to people or the chances that I might get ripped off or anything like that. I didn't want to. And I didn't have to. And that's part of the thing. That's what I mean by accessibility. The big deal with Warframe is that it doesn't matter what game you came from. It doesn't matter your background as a player. It doesn't matter the experiences that you've had. Some of that is going to help you in this game. If you're a Call of Duty player and you're all about getting in there and, sniping people and headshotting and stuff like that, that's going to be beneficial in Warframe. You go through, you're fighting mobs of enemies because that's what this game is about a lot of the time, is about floods of enemies. Large quantities of enemies, you're totally outnumbered kind of stuff. And if you're in there and you're picking off priority targets that have the ability to really hurt your teammates or yourself, you're doing something incredibly valuable. Let's say you're a mage from World of Warcraft and you're used to playing a class that is using stuff like CCs and stuff to keep yourself alive. And going ahead and utilizing things like that and, throwing down frost novas and stuff like that. You can use those kinds of skills here. Those same things that were going on in your head are going to apply here in Warframe. My character, the one that I always have played ever since the beginning, is the Volt. And that's what you're looking at right now. This is a Volt Prime. Volt has a few different abilities. All Warframes have 4 different abilities. And those abilities go from a rather basic initial ability all the way over to their 4th ability, which is kind of like an ultimate almost. Really powerful move. In the case of the Volt, you have Shock, which is a multi-target arcing electrical shock that goes ahead and does a small amount of damage and links to other targets and does a hard CC. So anybody who doesn't die from it is going to stand there and be all because they're being shocked. Speed buffs you and your allies that are within range with increased movement speed, increased melee speed, and increased decreased reload animation times. So you reload your weapons faster. Electric Shield, easily one of the most OP skills in this game when it's utilized properly. This is a completely invincible shield that takes no damage from anything. It's going to be there until the timer runs out, no matter what. And it can deflect all incoming projectiles. And the only thing that could go through it is explosions. It also increases the damage of whatever you shoot through it by an additional 50% energy damage, electrical damage. And it also can be electrified, so it'll electrify people who try to walk through it. And it increases whatever you're shooting through its critical damage by 2 times. It's insane. I was talking about this all the time back in the day too. If you are new to this game, or if you play this game, if you see somebody using an electric shield, you have no reason to not get behind that thing. None. All you have to do is realize the approximate explosion radius of grenades and stuff like that, and stand just that far away from the electric shield. And now you're immortal to incoming projectiles. So I'm not going to go into that. I went nuts back in the day because people would just constantly run past the electric shield and then go die. And it was like, what are you doing? You know, I put this down here for us. So anyway, then he's got Discharge that goes ahead and does a large scale AoE hard CC that also does a decent amount of damage and will also explode other electrical devices that are nearby for added damage. A lot of people are real big damage junkies in this game. They don't put too much of their appreciation into CC. I wasn't like that. I never was. I was all about being able to CC a lot, because one of the most beneficial things you can do for a team is go ahead and make them so they don't die. And there's many different ways to do that. You can heal them, you can put up shields, you can increase their shields, you can do all those things, or you could just stop the guys from trying to kill them. You know? But let's go run around in my clan hall. If you were a member of the clan and you got booted back in the day, it's because I had no intention of coming back to this game. I've played it enough. Mind you, you better be going on 3,000, 5,000 hours or whatever if you're talking about actually having played this game to the same point I have. So, yeah, let's go into the clan and run around in there because I'd love to show it off. How do I do that again? Oh, communications. Then we go in clan. So anyone who was in here, just understand that I did that on purpose because it would be much better for you to actually join a clan that actually has a leader who's playing the game and stuff like that. I appreciate any contributions that you made to my clan, but in the long run, I would prefer people not be adding into a dead clan. You'd be much better served going ahead and adding into an active clan that's going to be keeping up with the game. So in here, one of the things that people talk about is they say, oh, well, I farmed forever. I got all these pieces for a Warframe. I got it, and now I have to cook it, and I have to wait for like 2 or 3 days for this thing to be done. This game is just waiting forever, so I end up having to pay. Well, to a degree, yeah. But the key is the content in the game. You need to think of this from a base player perspective. Okay, someone who's coming up through the ranks. It's not really going to be that big of a deal for them to wait for a couple of days to get this new thing that they got. Why? Because there's so much content. There's so much in this game to do. There's tons and tons of different weapons, tons and tons of different things that you can grind out, tons and tons of different items and things like that you need to get and collect and all this kind of stuff. There's cool little curios that you can go and obtain for achievements and things like that. There's just gobs and gobs and gobs of content. This whole entire dojo that you see here, I built out of the cells that they allowed me to have. Like, this didn't exist. I put it together. 90%. I'd say even more than that. About 99% of the stuff in here was from my personal stores of stuff. And that's because I was a madman with this game back then. I'll show you how I played. I'll go to like the first level and I'll show you how I used to play. I used to go around and I would break every box. I would open every single locker I could. I would use Master Thief or whatever that thing was called, where I could unlock other lockers. And a lot of people would go, "That's insane. That's ridiculous. Why would you do that?" It's because I had no intention of putting together a community. I didn't want to run a clan. I didn't want to do that. But I did want some friends, and I got some friends playing the game. And they came in and they helped build some of the stuff in this dojo. They helped finish some of the research and stuff like that. And I am super indebted to them. But the fact of the matter is every time we had a research to do, I would come and I would fill almost the whole entire thing. Every time. And that's because I played like that. I got all of the different little teeny tiny things. Because the game is beautiful and you can play it however you want. I touched base on this earlier. If you're an Assassin's Creed player, you can come in and apply a bunch of those skills to this game. If you're a Call of Duty player, you can come in here and apply those skills to this game. If you're a Battlefield player, you can come in here and apply those skills to this game. If you play fighting games, you can apply those skills to this game. Elden Ring, Dark Souls, all of that kind of stuff, you can apply all of that to this game. It has a robust melee system. It has all sorts of different stuff. You've got dodges and rolls and things like that. You've got, all this kind of crazy stuff. And at the conception of this game, I remember coming in and I played it early in its development when they released it, and I didn't like it. I was playing with a bow, and they hadn't coded in the ability to pick up any more arrows in the game. Obviously, none of the enemies had arrows, so why would I be picking up arrows? So I had like the 20 or 30 arrows that I started the game with, and that's all I had for the entire thing. And I was like, this is dumb. I don't want to play this game. But I saw the potential. Because back then I was playing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And there is still, to this day, a community that plays Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. You can still, to this day, go and log in and find groups to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And what they had here was they had wave-based mechanics against enemies just like Mass Effect 3 multiplayer did, but the difference was you could jump. Not only could you jump and use verticality, you could launch into the sky, you could stick to walls, you could do things like this, and all of this ninja-y stuff that allows you to have all of this mobility, and they had all these different weapons and armors and melee weapons and stuff like that. All of these different Warframes that have all these different abilities and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, they are on to something here. And I was so right in that fact that it gave birth to this channel. Because I left and I was like, whatever. But a little while later I came back and I ended up playing this game to the point where I made builds for the characters. I made stuff. I went ahead and I was like, hey, I really like this game. I know some stuff. There's people who want to know about this. I'm going to make a YouTube channel about it. And it gave birth to this channel. It gave birth to me as a content creator on the internet. This game has so much content in it, so much available for you to do, so many things to go and explore and find and build and craft and all that kind of stuff, and ring bells and just, this entire dojo. I built this with the stuff they have available. All of these rooms required materials and stuff like that I had gone and I had grinded out and I got. They have all these different things that you go through and you research. You research them, then you get access to them. You get to go ahead and build them and use them. On a content scale, this game is mind-blowing. Like, I believe, I made all these teleporters. I don't think you actually have to use these anymore. I'm pretty sure you can just, fast travel between everything that's in your clan. You know, I made this before that. So here's a transporter to take me to all the different places, even though you don't need it anymore because it didn't used to be there. You know, here, I'll go to the chem lab. You know, but I could also just go ahead and go into fast travel and go to the biolab again because eventually they decided that, you know, this wasn't necessary to have you build transporters to go to the different places. This accessibility in this game is so well done. One of the big things that I could talk about is Rhino. When Rhino came out, everybody was like, oh, Rhino, you know. See, like this kind of stuff. I put all this stuff here. I put these lamps here. I put this you know, Shinto gates stuff here. I put these flags. I built all of this. The accessibility in this game. Okay, Rhino. Rhino is what I was talking about. Rhino, lots of people had beef with Rhino because they're like, oh, it's cheap. Oh, it's, you know, it's like, you know, it's too easy. You know, you have this button that makes you pretty much immortal, all this kind of stuff. And it's like, what they were actually doing with Rhino was they were making a perfect candidate for that person who doesn't have all the time in the world to play video games. Rhino is perfect for that person who wants to come home. They have friends who play video games. They come home from work. You know, they feed the kids. They got a couple hours to game before they got to go to bed and then wake up and go back to work. Rhino's perfect for that. He's easy to use. He, she, I don't know what it is. Rhino's perfect for that because you have this button that makes you have a ton of armor that the enemy has to shoot through before they can start hurting you. You have a big AoE stun. You have a roar that increases your damage and the damage of anyone else who's within range of your roar. So these kind of people can be a meaningful, useful part of a team, even though they don't have all the time in the world to play the game. It's good having a Rhino on your team. Being able to have a Rhino who's just going to up all of your damage because of his roar, that's awesome. And who's also super tanky, you know, and can just run up to you when you go down, slam the ground, do the Rhino stomp, slam the ground, send everybody up to be levitating in the air for a little while he revives you. Perfect. Perfect for that kind of a time period. Perfect for that issue right there. And there's tons and tons of that stuff in this game. And not only that, it's the art style. It's very stylized. It's very specifically Warframe. Anyone who's played this game or been exposed to it would recognize the art style that was used. When you watch that video I made watching the Soulframe stuff, the Soulframe trailer, you can tell that that's a Digital Extremes game. You could tell. It's in a totally different genre. It's in a completely different feel. But you can still tell. It's a Digital Extremes game. This game, if you've never played it, I've said this a million times, but if you've never played Warframe, you should. You absolutely should. Without a shadow of a doubt. And what you need to do is you need to slog through the early game. It's not like some super boring, you know, kind of a thing. We'll go ahead and we'll show you the first level of the game, but I wanted to show this really cool room that I have up here before we do that. Because I want to show you guys, check this out. How cool is that? I like this room. I like this room a lot. I think this is the arena, like the dueling area. Oh no, this is my Orokin lab. Maybe the dueling area is in here? Yeah, it is. This is where you can duel other people in your clan, or people that you invite here. You know, and I'm showing you all this stuff, but even if you're like, even if you're like somebody who likes Gundam and stuff, there's things called Arcwing in this game. Let's get out of my dojo so I can show you some of this stuff. Arcwing was another thing that they tried. It worked. It's pretty cool. Is it the best? You know, did it go over really, really well? It went over okay. You know, it's polarizing. Some people really, really like it. Some people don't like it. You know, and that's fine. They tried. They tried to put it out. And some people like it and some people don't. So that's about as good as you can hope for any of that kind of stuff. But, you know, Arcwing is this thing where you're flying around with this. How do I get to that? I forgot. Oh yeah, it's right here. You're out flying in space, and you have this Arcwing, and you have specialty weapons and stuff. And your Arcwing has all different abilities from your original Warframe. You know, and it's a new experience in the same game. They have railjacks, which is like everybody's on a spaceship. You know, and some of you can hop out and go fly around with your Arcwing and fight guys, and other people can, you know, use Gatling guns that are mounted on the ship and all this kind of stuff. And there's all this content to do in ship battles. It's crazy. It's wild. I never did it. I just didn't. You know, it was after my time in this game. And not only that, you know, you see, all of this stuff existed. Okay, it was all part of the game. All this kind of crazy stuff, all this new content, constantly pouring out from Digital Extremes. Things you could collect, like these little things right here. You know, that you can use as trophies in your ship and stuff. There's things like the what's it called, Night Court or whatever, and stuff like that. Different missions you could do. You know, Soma Chord, which is like a little thing that plays music. Can't really tell. It's not loud enough. There you go. You can hear that one. You know, and you can collect all sorts of different things. I don't want that to continue playing though. Stop that. Uh, you know, it's all stuff that you can collect and customize and do all this kind of stuff with. You know, here's this thing over here where I can tap it and go fight a boss. You know, I can't go in here for some reason. I don't know why. But there's like an infested dude in there. Here's how you get to your railjack. You know, I'm not going to do that because I actually legitimately don't know what that's about. You know, void relics. This is a whole thing where you can use these void relics to go and you know, farm for specific kinds of gear in different missions, in void missions, which has all of its own little things to go along with it. But what was I going to show you guys? Oh yeah, I was just going to go and run the first mission. Am I still on solo? Okay, good. I tried to record this earlier, but I ended up having a booger on my nose, and it was so distracting. Don't tell anybody. It was super embarrassing. I had to delete the video. I couldn't possibly put something out like that. That would be disgusting. I'm literally going to the first mission for a very good reason. I am way too overpowered to be playing the first mission. But I want to demonstrate something to you about this game. And that is, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't. Regardless of how you play or what you do, you can play this game how you want to play it. If you want to play it like it's Assassin's Creed, you can play it like it's Assassin's Creed. You want to play it like it's a melee fighting game, you can play it like it's a melee fighting game. If you want to play it like League of Legends and just be spamming your abilities all the time, you can do that. If you want to play it like Call of Duty or Rainbow Six or something where you're, hiding behind a thing and you spring out and shoot some dudes, you can do that. And all of it's going to be applicable. There are time periods, against large waves of Grineer and stuff where that's a good tactic to take. To go ahead and stay in cover. Spring out, kill some dudes, go back into cover. You could be a psychopath, just running around doing all this kind of stuff, fighting with your melee weapon. So this guy doesn't know I'm here. I'm going to go up and I'm just going to Assassin's Creed him. But his friend saw me, so I've got to burn him. He's got a friend up here. I'm going to launch up here. Boom. Take him down. I can see a little red dot on my mini-map up there. And he's talking. He knows I'm here. Somebody else found me. There's stuff to collect, stuff to grab. So as soon as I kill these guys, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So here's the thing to collect. I've got this thing that's a scanner. It looks at this. I've already got it, but I would scan it. Here's this thing. Boom, I just got some resources. One Moonlight Thresh Cone, said down at the bottom. And this is how I actually played this game. If you're new to this game and you've never played Warframe, you should do it this way. Go in here by yourself. Take it slow. The community is going to want to race through absolutely everything as fast as they can. And that's because the grind is long. But when you're early game, you want to go through and you want to try to get every single one of these chests. Every single one. You want to open every single locker. You want to gain every single little bit of things that you can because you need that in the end. To upgrade weapons or to make new weapons and all that kind of stuff, to get the mods you need and all that kind of stuff. You want every single little bit of stuff you can. I already opened that box. You're probably not even going to have a scanner when you first start the game. I don't know. I haven't started the game in a long time. But you want to get all these things because that's how I was able to make my own. I was able to literally build my own clan dojo. Was because this is how I played. I took my time. I soaked it all in. And when you do this, you get a chance to actually see how much effort was put into this game. How much time and effort they put into this. If you look up at the map in the top left, you can see that there is a ton of loot in this little area. There's lots of it. Plenty. And I'm going to grab it all. Every single one of these chests that are out here. You can look at the bottom of the screen right now and you'll see the things that I'm picking up. I'm picking up more ammo. There's shotgun ammo if I had a shotgun. I pop this one open. I just got some credits in Rubedo. You need all of this stuff when you're new to the game. And it's something that a lot of people who've played it as long as I have don't remember. They don't remember just how important all of this stuff is. Just how intense the gameplay really is just on the level of, needing this stuff. So they don't think about that because in the end game, you're rushing through everything. But when you do that, which it's necessary when you're in endgame to rush, because the grind is already long enough when you're just trying to get specific things. But when you do that, you miss all of the other content. You miss all of these cool little areas and neat little stuff, little secret areas and whatnot. How much time and effort was put into this super cool waterfall right here. All this kind of stuff. I wonder if there's anything behind the waterfall. Nope, not this time. But I bet there's some time where they would. Let's open this thing. Just got some more energy. All of this is stuff that you would miss by rushing through the game. And like I said, that's necessary. You need to be fast later in the game. But early on, Do it like this, and you're going to have a way better time. Because when it comes time for you to build a new gun or something, or you get, the blueprint to build your first shotgun or whatnot, you're going to end up wishing you had done this to get all of this kind of stuff, to get all the materials that you needed to do this, to do the interesting stuff, and to get yourself more powerful. Intense customization, difficulty in gameplay if you want it, because like I said, you could go and be a rhino. If you don't have the time to sit there and spend time just grinding on, being the greatest player of all times, you can go ahead and play a class like the rhino. You could play an ember. You could play these other characters that have a much easier time, that have a very simple play style, straightforward, that are still incredibly meaningful members of the team. I say this so many times when I talk about Warframe, but it's a great game. A lot of people go ahead and they say things about it, and it's because they're looking at this game from the perspective of a person just like me, who's played the crap out of this game. And they're like, oh, all this kind of stuff. See, I got really salty. I thought the game was turning into something I didn't like, and la 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 la. But after a long period of time and playing other games, I realized it wasn't the fault of the game. It was me. I went back and started another account so that I could see all the new intro stuff to this game, because none of that introductory stuff existed when I originally played this game. And it just blew me away because I was just in here taking time, checking out all the cool lighting effects, realizing that, I have a flashlight. I never noticed that. It never even crossed my mind that I have a flashlight, and it's like showing me stuff that I'm looking at. When did that happen? Was it there all the time? I don't know, because I was too busy rushing. It's wild. Look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is. This same thing happened to me in World of Warcraft when I logged into my character, Azeralas, on retail. And I was standing in that, Mayan Aztec place for the Zandalari trolls. Zandalar. There we go. That's the place. It's awesome. It's intricate. They really, really made this place look really neat and cool and have lots of stuff in it. Here I have some... This weapon shoots needles that explode in gas. Like, that's crazy. That's a crazy little thing here. It's way too powerful to be in this, to be fighting this level of enemies. This would be much more entertaining with just an MK1 Bratton. But at the same time, when I started this game, I used a Latron. Because I'm all about that life of, being that dude who crouches behind something, pokes his head out and shoots a dude, and then, pops a guy in the head, takes really calculated shots, all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of player I am. So I played to my strengths as a player. I knew this was going to take an hour, by the way. But it's because it's worth it. So I hope you're still here, and I hope you're still watching. I'm super hyped about Soulframe. And in the beginning of that video I made when we were watching the trailer for it, I wanted to go, I said I really want DE to succeed at whatever they do. And it's true. And it's because this game was good enough that it caused a person like me, a fairly introverted person, to go ahead and make a YouTube channel about it. It's that good. Once you get in here and you start doing this kind of stuff, you're either going to get addicted or you're going to get tired of it before you get a chance to really see what it's all about. And that's just the nature of these kinds of games. Either you're into it or you're not. If you're just looking for something to take your mind off of stuff and go hang out for a while and, play a game, you could take as much time as you want. That's why I'm doing this on this first level. I've been going through, picking up all sorts of things, scanning things, grabbing stuff, and what's going to eventually happen playing the game like this is you're going to get all of the stuff you need to get new stuff, to then go do the same thing again. But now you're doing it with new stuff. Maybe a new frame. Maybe new weapons. Maybe a new melee weapon. Maybe a new secondary. And whatever your game history is, wherever you came from as a gamer, there's something in here where you're going to be able to use some of those skills that you have, that you've garnered from those other games right here in Warframe. And if you're lucky enough to have people who are just like you, who have similar backgrounds and stuff like that, and you can do all of this stuff as a team, you're in for one hell of a ride when it comes to Warframe. So, long story short, bring this all to a close. Play this game how you want to play this game, first and foremost. Then go ahead and team up with people and expect that they're going to want to rush, because that's the nature of the game. When you have lots and lots of grinding to do, people want to get things done as soon as they can. But always take a step back. Always take a step back. Come in here. Hide behind a thing. Wait for these guys to rotate correctly. Pop out, stealth kill this dude. Oh no, he saw me. Take your time. Go through, pick up every little thing you can find. Grab all your stuff. Enjoy this content that's here, because there's all sorts of different little nooks and crannies and things like that in this game that have tons and tons of different stuff that you can get into. And it'll all be useful eventually. At some point, it won't be useful anymore. But that's fine, because at some point you need to progress.
The enemy is broken. Well done. Now get to extract.
This game is one of my top 3 of all times. Right up there, like I said, right up there with Final Fantasy VII, the original. You know, if you're a hype junkie, look at this. I am literally just racing through this like a psychopath. You can go for high speed, running through all of this kind of stuff. You can do all of this kind of thing in this game. Or you can take your time. Focus on getting every single little secret, getting all of the little items that are in the game, and building up from the ground up. And then when you get a new Warframe, you get to do it again. You get a new gun, you get to do it again. And as time progresses, as you go on, you start to go up in what's called Mastery Rank. And Mastery Rank gives you more slots for your mods and things like that. Mods are how you... Let's pet the dog. Pet the dog. You're a good puppy. Mephistopheles. Mods can make it so that you can play whatever you want, however you want, to a degree, obviously. You know, here in my vault, I have Shinigami, which is I'm doing something. I don't really know. I've been out of this game for a long time. Looks like I've gone power strength, with as little degradation to any of my other stuff as I can. That's pretty self-explanatory. Shock buff. I'm in here doing. Oh, it's centered around Shock Trooper. So shock augment, hold to cast will grant all allies within 15 meters an additional 100% electricity damage on to their attacks. So I pop people with this. They shoot through my shield. Now they have 150% increased electricity damage. Pretty self-explanatory in that sense. It's heavy CC, very low efficiency, but it's all about augmenting my friends and being beneficial to them. This would be the kind of build I would use if I was in a team with like a Trinity who was spamming Vampiric Touch or whatever it's called. Vampiric Touch? Energy Vampire. That's the name. Experimental, this was a melee build. I'm super tanky. I have lots of shield and lots of health, along with 40% energy spent on abilities is converted to shields. This is 20% chance to enhance criticals from primary weapons. So that's what I'm doing. I'm super tanky. I have a decent buff from my speed because I have 100% strength. So I'm just going to have the base speed increase from my second ability. And it's focused on melee. Stuff hits me in melee, it gets struck by electricity. Is it the best build in the world? No. But it's a hell of a lot of fun. Lots of duration, so my speed can last a long time. 100% so that I'm getting the base amount of speed off of my speed ability. Now that I have that equipped, I can go over here and be like, check my speed, and it shows that I have a 15.5 second long duration on my speed buff, and the speed multiplier is 1.5 times. Not a lot, but it's faster than you were, and it lasts a long time, and it doesn't cost very much. It's crazy. It's crazy. The customization is just the surface level of what's so great about this game. That's just the surface. The huge amount of customization that is available in every single Warframe, in every single item, in every single weapon in the game, that's just the surface. It's the fact that you can take many of these characters and interpret them however you want to interpret them. I've had sniper builds for Volts where I don't have much durability. I'm always dropping my shield. My main abilities are there for pretty much only CC because I'm chilling back there in the back behind my shield, popping heads with a sniper rifle or a Latron Prime or a Latron Wraith. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what history you come from. In video games in general, there's most likely a way that you can go ahead and utilize those skills in this game. And that's the core. That's that core attraction for this game. You just have to be willing to put in the footwork to get in there or to pay the money, because you could skip a lot of this by just going ahead and buying a cool Warframe that you see, you like the look of it, you like the abilities that you see, so you buy it. You just go over here, you're new to the game, you don't want to be grinding forever, you want to have something fun to play right now, but the only thing you'll end up needing to grind is mods. Because you could just come in here and be like, okay, I'm just going to pick up this Prime Vault. Oh, that's opening a window. Yeah, I'll bring that over. It's fine. Open up Prime Vault, costs $60. You get all this stuff. You get some Warframes, you get some weapons, Prime weapons, you get all this kind of cool stuff in your pack for $60. And that's fine. That's the big deal for me. That's what I want people to understand. Is that it's okay to spend money when it's fun. You're not gambling on this game. You come in here, you start playing the game, you see if you like the gameplay, and then you're like, hey, you know what? I do like this game. I want something cool. I like this what in the world is that word? Electrolyst skin for Volt. I want this. I kind of do, but I'm not gonna do it. I don't play this game very much anymore. I'm not gonna do it. No, you can't make me. I only need another 100 and I could get it. No, I'm not gonna do it. If you're broke and you don't have any money or you don't want to spend money on the game, you can go and you can grind for a while and get some stuff, sell it to people, through the trading system in this game, and build up some plat and buy some of this stuff if that's what you want to do. Let's go to categories. Let's go to Warframes. Now, I'm not here telling you that you should buy this stuff. I'm not going in here selling this stuff to you. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to let you know that it's available. It's here. You could do this. You want to be a ninja? There's Ash, okay? You want to be a ninja that's really like just ninja-y? Then you can go Loki, where it's all about your... it's much more of a mind game with Loki. You do things like disarming enemies, putting down decoys, teleporting back and forth in between different areas. Ash is much more of that, psychopath, kill dudes and then, throw down smoke bombs and disappear kind of a guy. More of like a Naruto ninja kind of a thing. And they have all that kind of stuff too. That's what's crazy. One of my favorites to play is Hydroid. Super fun. He's like this weird, like piratey kind of tentacly face guy. And he has like barrage that, rains down water droplets all over an enemy and smacks him around with impact damage. He's got big crazy tentacles that come out of the ground and like slap people on the floor and all this crazy stuff. You've got Banshee that uses like sonar and stuff and like highlights parts of enemies where if you shoot that part, if anyone on your team shoots that part that's highlighted, they do more damage. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of customization, the amount of available game stuff in this game. Nyx is another one. Nyx literally makes everybody go crazy and start fighting each other. It's awesome. And then she's got like psychic bullets. It's crazy stuff. Nova puts this stuff on, slaps this kind of goo all over everybody that makes them shine, and they all take double damage. One of her builds makes it so that they slow down. Another build makes it so that they speed up. It's wild. You've got Inaros. Is he even in here? Or is he one of the special guys? Yeah, Inaros. He's like this crazy Egyptian, mummy kind of Warframe that has like sandstorms and stuff and like uses this thing called scarab armor that like goes all over his body and stuff and makes him like pretty much immortal. It's nuts. And they're still coming out with new stuff. This game is great. It was good enough that an introvert gamer like myself made a YouTube channel because it was that good. You want to know why I, as a gamer, am so hooked on customization? I think everything should have all of the customization. All of the power should be put into the player's hands. It has a lot to do with this game. It has a lot to do with Warframe, and it has a lot to do with D&D. So, start out free. Just like their advertisements say, ninjas play free. Get into the game, start doing some stuff, decide if you want to buy something. If you don't, just keep grinding. Just take your time, keep grinding. You see something that you want, but you don't want to spend money on it, then go onto the wiki. Go find videos from people who are still doing the things I used to. So you can figure out where you need to go to get the parts to go ahead and make whatever Warframe that is that you want to try out, or whatever weapon that is. top 3 games of mine all time. One of them's Warframe. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. If you're here and you are here from all the way back in the day, or if you found this and you remember watching some of my stuff from back in the day, go ahead and hit me up in the comments section so that we can, so that I can go down there and like your comment, because I'd love to hear from you guys. Am I going to play some more Warframe? I can't guarantee it. I have it installed right now. I'll probably go screw around some here and there. But that's just because I played it enough. Thank you for watching. I'm Azeralas, and this was Digital Extremes Warframe. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you on the next one. If you want to help out the channel, I don't make money on YouTube anymore or Twitch. You can hit up my donation links in the description below. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one.